Hey folks, this video is going to talk you through how to create a technical drawing of your packing block. So a technical drawing looks something like this, where we have different views of an object, dimensions, and even any notes. And the idea is that we can take this page into the workshop and actually make or manufacture the item that's represented. So it should have all the necessary information that we need. So we're going to have some different views, including a top view and a front view of our block, and also this view over here. So top and front are called orthogonal drawings, and those are the ones that are looking directly at the top, the front, the side, the bottom, sort of flat on, and those will have dimensions and they're aligned with each other. So you can see that the edge of the top view lines up with the edge of the front view on both sides. And if we had a side view over here, the top and the bottom lines would line up. So those are the orthogonal projection drawings. We also have this little three-dimensional one, which is called an isometric view, and that just gives you an idea of what it looks like in 3 dimensions. And you can actually add notes to highlight any specific features on the isometric drawing if needed. So to create a drawing that looks like this, we're going to head into Fusion and open up your packing block. So to open up this file, you need to head into your data panel. So this little icon with the squares. You're going to find your Year 8 folder. So double click on that to open it. Find your practice folder. You probably only have the practice folder in here so far. And then find your packing block drawing. Double click to open that. Once it opens up, just click the little cross up the top here to close the data panel. All right, once the packing block is open, we're going to add a finish to this block just so that we can see it in the isometric view on our drawing. So we're going to type in the letter A for appearance, or you could go to modify and then find appearance in the panel there. Okay, either way you want to do it is fine. You're going to scroll down in this dialog box to the library, and you're going to keep scrolling, and we're going to make this one painted. So I'm going to open up the paint folder. I'm going to go with a glossy paint, and just choose a color that you like. Doesn't really matter what color. We're just going to have a go at putting a material on. So we click the little arrow next to whatever color you'd like to download it. Once it's finished downloading, that little blue box that you might have seen in the corner will disappear. You can then click and drag the material and drop it onto your product, your item, and then close. So you can see that I chose blue, so now my packing block is blue. So I'm just going to hit save there. Now that I've done that, I can actually create my technical drawing. So I'm going to head up to the top left of my screen where it says design. I'm going to click on that button and head down to drawing and choose from design. And that's going to create a technical drawing of whatever is on my screen in this file. And we don't need to worry about changing any of the settings in this data panel, in this dialog box. Let's just press OK. Okay, so that's going to open up our technical drawing sheet, and you'll see that it has a title block which will automatically populate with the name of the item. So whatever you've called your packing block file, that will appear there. It'll also have the your name and today's date, and it will also have a border around the page. Okay, you can see that it's automatically opened up one of the tools, which is the base view tool, and that opens up this dialog box here. So in this dialog box, we can choose what view we're going to be placing in. So I'm happy with the front view. If yours is coming in with a different one, you just click on the orientation menu and just click through until you find the front. Okay, so we're happy with that front view. I also want to make sure that my scale is 1:1, which means that 1 millimeter in real life is 1 millimeter on the page. If you had a really large drawing, let's say that you drew a dining table and you want to fit that drawing on an A3 page, we're going to scale it down so that 1 is to maybe 5, so that each 1 millimeter in real life measuring on the page, each 1 millimeter on the page equals 5 millimeters in real life. So a scale is an option there. We're just going to do 1:1. So we're just going to start by placing in this front view. I'm going to hover over towards the left of the page and sort of towards the bottom middle kind of area. I'm going to click once and hit OK. All right, so that's my front view. I now want to do my orthogonal projection, which is to get the top view directly above this front view. So I'm going to go to the projected view button, which is next to the base view. I'm going to select the view I'd like to project from, and then I'm going to hover up to show the top view. I'm also going to show the isometrics. If I hover up to the top right, you can see it's not really a very good view, so I'm going to hover to the bottom left and click there. And once I've selected all of those locations, I can then click and drag them to be in a different spot. Now, the isometric view can go anywhere on the page. The top and front view, however, are going to be locked into each other. So that means if I wanted to move this top view over here, I couldn't. I could only move it up and down because it is locked to my front view. If I want both of these views to move over, I'm going to select my front view and drag it, and that will bring the top view with it. Okay, so I can move these together side to side, or I can move them independently up and down, but I can't move my top view over here and my front view over here. They have to be lined up. If I had a side view, it'd be the same, where I could only move it side to side, locked in with the top and bottom of the front view. So that's our orthogonal views there. Next thing we're going to do is make this one look like it does in the model, which is the blue color. So we're going to double click the isometric view, and we've got some style options up here. I'm going to click on the shaded option, so that little blue cube, and that's going to show me what that looks like if it was a real life material. And I'm also going to do that same thing for these views here. I'm going to double click on the top view, and I'm going to change it to the visible and hidden edges box. So it's the box that has the dotted line in it, and I'm going to press close. And that actually shows me where this little division is in the heights of my packing block, which makes it easier for dimensioning. So now that I've got all of that information in, I can add in my dimensions. So I'm going to click my dimension tool up the top here, and there are two ways you can dimension. You can either click the line itself, okay, or you can click from one point to another. So for this top view, I actually want to dimension each of these sections individually. So I'm going to click, I'll just zoom in a bit. I'm going to click from the left-hand end point to this first point here where the dashed line is. I'm going to hover down and click to place it. I'm going to click again from that point to the next dashed line, hover down and click to place it, and do the same at the end here. So from the dashed line to the very end. I also want to know how deep this block is, so what the extrusion was, which is from one end to the other there, 50. And for this block down the bottom here, I need to know the heights of everything. So I know all of the lengths. I need to now know how high this section is, this section, and this section. So I'm going to select the lines for this one because that's easiest. So that line there, that line there, and that line there. When we put our dimensions on, we need to make sure that they don't sit on our drawing, so they don't cross over with the drawing. They're out over to the side. So just be careful with where you're placing them and make sure that your dimensions look the same as mine. They should be in the same locations roughly. The last thing we need to do to finish off this drawing is to add labels so that we know what views we're looking at. So I'm going to head to the text tool up here. I'm just going to hover, so I'm in line with that last dimension, and hover down a little bit and create a text box. And this one is going to be top view. And I'm going to do the same down here with my text, select it again. I'm going to hover down a bit here and type in front view and close. And that should be all of the dimensions we need. So if I were drawing this, I would know that it's 18 mil up here, 40 in there, 34, 36, 22, 24, and then whatever's left over would be that height. And yep, that's everything that I need. Okay, so that drawing is now done. Let's hit save, and it'll automatically name the drawing, and it should be saved in the same location as the original file. So just double check that. If you need to move it, then please do, but let's just hit save there. Last thing we can do is export this as a PDF. So I hit the PDF button up here, press OK, and then I just choose where to save it. So I'm going to save it to my computer, so make sure that box is checked. And you can choose a specific location. So you might want to head to your OneDrive and find your Year 8 DT folder, and you can save that in there. And that is how you create an isometric drawing. sorry, a technical drawing.